morning, everyone, or good afternoon, or good evening from wherever you are tuning in from. And welcome to this week's new podcast episode with Angeline. Okay, so good morning. Happy Wednesday. Hope you're all having a great start to your morning. I am having my Rise coffee this morning. So let me just take a sip of that. Time to wake up and win the day. So, in today's episode, I am going to be talking about a topic that is very, very personal to me, and also a topic that I've been meaning to talk about for some time. So, we're going to be talking about triggers are teachers, how to heal what's still hurting. Okay. And I am your podcast host, faith driven women's empowerment coach, and founder of this global movement, helping women heal, reclaim their power, break free from their limiting beliefs so they can live their happiest lives ever. So please let me know where you are tuning in from. Drop a heart in the chat and share this live out with a friend who needs to hear this message today. So today's topic is going to touch your soul. Triggers are teachers. So if you've ever had a moment where you're suddenly emotional, angry, or spiraling, this is for you. So please drop a heart in the comments below. And also you can also visit my website, which is letsbreakthesilence.com. Journal prompts. We will be talking about that at the end of this live. All right. And just a friendly reminder, if you would like to tune into my weekly podcast episodes, which are on Wednesdays in the morning, please subscribe to Spotify, Apple, and all the other live streams. Okay. So we are live on YouTube right now. And please go ahead, like and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new here. Okay. So let me just go right into this. Okay. So what is a trigger? Triggers are emotional responses that are tied to unhealed parts of our story. So, what happens a lot is they show up when something in the present activates pain from the past. So, I will give you some examples of that. Seeing someone who reminds you of an abuser is a trigger. That is an emotional response, meaning that part of you that is inside of you has not been completely healed yet. And hearing a tone of voice that feels familiar and unsafe, that's another trigger. That's another example of a trigger. Feeling invisible in a meeting and it mirrors childhood wounds. So meaning that if you were, because I run across this a lot when a woman now who's an adult, okay, if she's feeling invisible, meaning she's not being seen or heard in a meeting, that is a perfect example of a trigger, meaning that in childhood, she was ignored by her parents. So they're not, and actually, this is not a sign of weakness. This is a sign pointing you towards what still needs your love. And I was at convention this past weekend in Charlotte, North Carolina. So I witnessed something and I knew that this girl was triggered. Okay. She is afraid of crowds, meaning crowds bother her. And by the way, there were 3,000 people at this convention, 3,000 men and women at this convention, a leadership conference that I'm proud to say I'm part of a global movement, and I'm feeling truly blessed. But she was sitting in her seat, and I recall that she was looking around and she started to feel nervous. And then a panic attack happened. And I remember she was trying to, like she was sitting inside. I was sitting, like in the second row towards the aisle, and she tapped me, and then she took off without her badge, everything. That is a trigger. So that is an unhealed wound that hasn't been resolved, and it may go back to childhood. I don't know. because I just met her when I was at the convention. So anyways, that's an example of a trigger, and she ended up leaving the convention, and that's just an example of the enemy, trying to bring her down, and preventing her from attending the entire convention. So anyway, she had to leave, and please pray over her that for some peace in her life. But it's not a sign of weakness, and our struggles lead to strength. So let me just share my own experience. So there was a time when I was triggered, a couple of things, just by looking in the mirror. And actually, back when I worked in corporate America, I felt that I wasn't being heard, even though I, produced a lot of money for this company. I felt that my voice was not being heard. And I don't know if you've ever felt that way. Let me know in the comments if you've ever felt that way. But there was a time in my life when I was working in corporate America, sitting in a Zoom meeting. This happened during COVID, because like after COVID, and we all got furloughed to working from home. So anyways, let me just share this time. Everyone is being praised, everyone is being recognized except me, and I was triggered. And I remember that moment. And I remembered that I had done the healing work, but it's still, that part of me was not completely healed. So one day, a comment from a colleague brought me to tears, and I realized that there's still a part of me I haven't loved yet. So loving myself, and that actually came from my mentor, and I had to learn to love myself again, because when you love yourself, you are able to love on others. And that was part of the healing that I had, part of myself, the inner work. So this is how I started my podcast, and I decided to leave that company and start my own podcast, and to empower women to reclaim their voice, because we all have a voice, especially domestic violence survivors. We all have a voice. And women, especially women and men too, want to feel seen and heard. So I hope that this is making sense. And what I want to say is, God doesn't waste anything. He used that trigger to show me where I needed deeper grace. So what I want to do is, I don't feel that we're completely healed from triggers, but I feel that we can, it's important to recognize what the trigger is. And so what I want to share is, I want to share 3 tips to healing triggers. Number 1, take a pause and breathe. Don't react. Pause. Acknowledge the emotion without judgment. So stop judging yourself. Take a step back. And in my case, many times I've had to take a step back. So pause, breathe, take a deep breath in. And just exhale. Do that a couple of times, and that's going to help you relax. So, and ask yourself this: what is this really about? Is this about now, or is this about a wound that I've carried for years? And I was talking about that in the beginning of my live. For example, not feeling seen or heard by a family member, okay, feeling isolated. And one of the things that I did to heal myself was to get myself out there and get involved in activities, meaning like yoga, meditation. I go to a dance class every week now. That is part of your healing. And also, let faith guide your healing. Pray over the wound, write about it, journal about it, and choose to respond with love. Okay. So every morning, this is my journal, everyone. Okay. So I keep a journal, and I write down things. I write down at least 10 things that I am grateful for. So what I would like you to do is please grab a notebook. And if you're watching the replay, please hashtag replay. I want you to sit down and write it out. Write about it. Pray over that wound. And you can, ask yourself, what am I afraid of right now? And what does this remind me of? What part of me still needs healing? Okay. Because there is a part of you inside that needs healing. So what I want to say is this, okay? And you're not alone. So you're not broken, you're becoming. So repeat this affirmation, please. You're not broken. You are becoming. Your trigger is not your identity. It is your invitation. So repeat that at least 3 times. And the fact that you're watching this live right now means you're ready. You're strong enough and you're not alone. So acknowledge it, recognize it, and take steps, because doing the inner work is so important. And yes, when you do inner work, when you do shadow work, that is going to trigger you. There's no doubt about it. You're going to be triggered. But that is also a sign that you want that. That is a sign. So we're going to uncover those wounds. It takes a lot of deep work. And I had to do the deep work. I mean, there were times in my life, in high school, that I felt that I wasn't being recognized. And I remember in high school I haven't shared this, so I'm going to be very vulnerable. It was a time in high school where I felt unseen and unheard. And I don't know whether that was the upbringing from my parents. Honestly, I don't know. But I know that I worked very hard in my parents' business. And, I graduated from high school, but I wasn't really involved in the activities because I was shy, quiet, and reserved. So that is a childhood wound that has been healed, actually, because now today I am a totally different person. So if this spoke to your heart today, drop a heart in the comments, and please DM me or put down in the comments here the word trigger, and I will send you my free self-reflection journal prompts to help you go deeper into your healing journey. And this journal prompt is free. So please, let's keep this conversation going. Share this video with a sister or a friend who needs encouragement and support. And please don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me here so you never miss an episode. So, short and sweet episode today. I'm going to sign off right now and have my delicious coffee here. So let's wake up and win the day. Let's, send me a private message. If you would like to book a call with me, please go to my website at letsbreakthesilence.com, and also please go to letsbreakthesilence.com/journal prompts to access your free journal right now. And that is it, everyone. That is it. And please go to my website, subscribe to and if you would like to explore and subscribe to my newsletter and book a breakthrough call with me, please go to letsbreakthesilence.com. And same thing here. Okay. All right, everyone. I want to wish you all an amazing day. Happy Winning Wednesday. Let's go out there and win the day. Cheers. Have a beautiful day, everyone.